you come on home? We're worried. Won't you come on? What is wrong in my life that I must get drunk every night? Johnny, we're sorry.
Now he faced a critical juncture, the NFL or the Yankees.
We went and spent time with Steinbrenner, and he wined and dined us. And he was, was very serious about John becoming a Yankee.
Hi, hello, and welcome to the New York Sheraton Hotel in New York City for the 1983 National Football League Collegiate Player Draft.
Baltimore selects first choice in the draft, quarterback John Elway of Stanford.
He warned the Colts beforehand that he wouldn't sign with them, and they drafted him anyway, and Elway wasn't going to play there. I mean, he was that kind of stubborn guy.
We were going to find out how strong those statements were. I picked the right guy. My job was to pick the greatest player in the country. I did.
When they actually drafted him, he was on the phone with Frank Cushion going through the whole deal.
The coach was a mean sucker, and his dad didn't coach that way.
I said, Mr. Cush, I said, I don't want to be a jerk or anything about it. That we've been telling you for 3 months that I'm not going to play in Baltimore, and I know for a fact you've been offered 3 1s and a quarterback, and you turned that down, and right now you have nothing. And then I hung the phone up.
He was looked on as, rebellious, arrogant, way too brash for the time, a guy who wanted more leverage than he ever deserved. I mean, that just didn't happen.
Because at that time, there was no free agency, and so I think there was a sense that John felt maybe he was kind of special.
Convinced their recalcitrant draft pick would play for the Yankees, the Colts traded Elway to Denver, where a 5-year, $5 million contract made him the highest-paid player in the NFL and a marked man.
For a guy like Elway to come and say, well, I want to be on the West Coast, and I want to be on the beach, and I'm a California boy, well, who cares what you are? And he said, well, I'll play baseball. Play baseball. You should play baseball. Because, in my opinion, he's not the kind of guy you win championships with. He never did it when he was at Stanford. I don't think he'll do it at Denver. And personally, don't care if he ever does it.
Did I know a lot of people didn't like me? Yeah, I knew they didn't like me.
Indeed, Elway's rookie year was a fierce test of his physical and mental faculties. Nowhere was the test tougher than in the city he had spurned.
We saw these white hats on all the Baltimore fans, and as we approached the crowd, we saw that the hat said, "Kill Elway."
It was pretty much of a rude awakening, I think, and he was pretty miserable. And I think that he ended up losing quite a bit of weight. He was real tall and thin at the time, and I don't know, it sounded like maybe he had made the wrong decision.
Elway, in a late season game against San Diego, lined up behind the guard. He didn't even line up behind the center. He was so confused, so rattled.
So rattled that he threw twice as many interceptions as touchdowns in that 1983 season. Meanwhile, head coach Dan Reeves rode his rookie with spurs.
Dan was very hard on him his first year or two, biting criticism on the sideline in front of his teammates, something that I'm sure John Elway was not used to.
Please come to Denver with the snowfall. We'll move up into the mountains so far that we can't be found, and throw our love you echoes down the canyons, and then lie awake at night until they come back around. Please come to Denver, she said no.